Hello students, welcome back to Remote Learning for Teacher Training College through radio lessons. As usual, my name is Teacher Emma. I am going to be taking you through today's lesson. As you are aware, due to COVID-19, the government of Rwanda has suspended all activities that especially bring many people together and all unnecessary movements. To prevent transmission of COVID-19, schools have also been affected. However, to support continued learning, Rwanda Education Board is partnering with UNICEF and other partners to support remote learning for all levels of education, including TTC. Today, we are also going to learn a new lesson, but this is a continuation of a lesson that we looked at, which was about teaching patterns. So what we are going to be doing today, we are going to be looking at the strategies we use for us to be able to teach patterns. So these are some of the objectives that we intend to accomplish in this lesson. So we're going to be appreciating the use of teaching learning aids when we are teaching patterns. And again, we will be able to demonstrate different strategies of teaching about patterns at pre-primary level. Now, my friends, and again, I want to emphasize this. As we go through the teaching methods and practice lessons for pre-primary lessons, so this lesson is for all TTC student teachers studying in the early childhood and lower primary option. We ask that all years of TT students participate in these lessons, even if you have studied this before. It is important to review what you have learned. So in this lesson, we shall be learning about how to teach numeracy to young children, and specifically focusing on strategies for teaching patterns in pre-primary. And of course, this is in accordance with Unit 7 from Year 1 Teaching Methods and Practice syllabus. Again, as usual, I want to call upon my fellow tutors, wherever you are, to attend this lesson with us, such that you are able to support our student teachers for any questions that they might be having, especially for these radio lessons. So in this lesson, we will learn and practice some ideas that early childhood teachers and parents can do to build children's understanding of patterns. Through the examples, we will also see how important it is to use a variety of different materials for children to play with and use in pattern lessons. My dear friends, as usual, ensure that your environment is safe and free from all disruptions. And again, I think you are now used to this, because within our lessons, you are always encouraged to take notes, so make sure you have your notebook and a pen. However, as we saw in the previous lesson, you also need some real objects to make patterns with. These can be bottle tops, sticks, stones, leaves, or even kitchen utensils like forks and spoons. You just need to have a few different items, but several of each different types of object. For example, you might gather 5 stones and 5 leaves and 5 sticks. I will give you time to get ready, find these materials, put them close to where you are sitting. Get them now. Good. Welcome back. So I think we are ready to go now. Before we start, let us warm up by reviewing some of what we learned in the last lesson. I am going to read to you a case study. Listen carefully. Afterwards, I'll ask you to reflect on how the case study connects to what we learned in our last lesson, which was about pattern concepts. Good. Keza, a 27-month-old, pointed to the moon and said, "Moon, sun, go, night, night." Can I repeat for you? Keza, a 27-month-old, pointed to the moon and said, "Moon, sun, go, night, night." Her grandfather picked her up. "Yes, little Keza. In the morning, the sun comes out and the moon goes away. At night, the sun goes to sleep and the moon comes out to play. But it's time for Keza to go to sleep now, just like the sun." Now, I want you to reflect on the following questions. I'll give you time to write some notes in your notebooks. What is Keza learning about patterns in this scenario? How do these skills prepare her for real life? You have a second to write down your ideas. My friends, did you come up with some good ideas? Let me share what I thought of. In the example, Keza is learning to identify predictable patterns in nature. She has noticed that the sun and the moon take turns in the sky. The sun is out in the day and the moon comes out at night. This is an AB pattern found in nature. Now that Keza has identified this pattern, she will know what is going to come next. And now that Keza has identified this pattern, she will know what is coming next and can start looking for the moon in the evening and the sun in the morning. The warm-up helped us to remember that patterns are all around us and that recognizing patterns helps children to develop a very important thinking skill called predicting. Can you write that down, my friends? Predicting. This means knowing what will come next. I want you to think back to our last lesson about pattern concepts. Remember that the first skill that children need to develop before they can work with patterns is classification. This means that children must be able to put objects into groups based on their characteristics such as color, size, type of material, among others. They might be able to do this in different ways and be able to describe how the materials are grouped only when children have these skills and they are ready for the patterns. Our case study in the warm-up helped us to see that we can use the natural world when teaching about patterns. What else do you think teachers can use to help children learn to identify and make patterns? Look around the room where you are. Do you see materials with patterns? Do you see items that you can use to make patterns with? Take time and write down your ideas. Teachers must give children objects to touch and move into patterns and have enough different types of experiences with patterns to be able to generalize the concept across different settings. Teachers can do this by providing children with lots of practice through real-world experience. I am going to share with you several strategies. Maybe you'll find your ideas in my list. Listen carefully and note keywords in your notebook. Clothing. Notice patterns in fabric used to make clothes. For example, blue, white, blue, white stripes on a sweater, or horizontal or vertical lines on a shirt. The second one is toys. Arrange toys that children regularly use during corner play into patterns such as animals, cars, blocks. Animals, cars, blocks. Remember, we're dealing with strategies that can help us to teach the pattern concept. So we've seen two. We've seen the using clothes. We are also seeing toys. And the third one now is movement. Do actions in a repeated way to make a pattern such as jumping, clapping, stomping, giving a high five. For example, jump, clap, jump. Jump, clap, jump. That is movement. Now, another one is through music. I know you love music like I do, and very many children love music. Make a sound pattern with rhythm instruments like a drum. The teacher can start and have children join in once they figured out the pattern. For example, I'm giving you an example. Bang, tap, tap, bang, tap, tap. That is music. You know, music goes with rhythm. Now, so the other pattern that we can use, my friends, energizers or warm-ups. Put words and movements together into a simple song, such as, you know this one? Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. You remember that one? Head, shoulder, knees, and toe, knees, and toe, knees, and toe. Head, shoulder, knees, and toe. Do you remember that? I know you know the song. And very many children love that song because it's an action song. So the other one is taking turns. What do we mean by taking turns, my friends? When playing a game or doing a cooperative activity such as storytelling, use talking or playing sticks to help children see the rotation of turns as patterns. So the other one is the colored beads. And children love playing with beads. Children can string colored beads or arrange colored bottle tops into different patterns. Tell children that they are making beautiful, natural, or bracelets. So they can be necklaces or bracelets with the colored beads. So the other one is the natural material. What do we mean by the natural material, my friends? Go outside, collect items such as leaves, sticks, and stones. Allow children to make their own patterns using these objects. We also use household objects. Do you know what household objects are? Arrange classroom or household objects into a pattern such as fork, knife, spoon. Fork, knife, spoon. That's a pattern. But we also use art. In art, we use colors or paint to draw simple patterns on paper. The other one that we use also is the pattern hunt. With the pattern hunt, normally, we take children outside the classroom and have them look for patterns in their surroundings, such as the way bricks are laid on a house, the way crops are planted in rows, and the way petals surround the center of a flower. That's pattern hunt. That's a lot of information, my friends. I hope you are following. Now, we are going to make some patterns with the materials that you have gathered. Are you ready? Good. To start with, sort the objects you have into groups by color. How many groups did you make? Remember that sorting and classifying is essential for children to master before making patterns. Now I am going to make a pattern, and I want you to copy my pattern with your objects. If you don't have the same colors as me, that's okay. You can adjust with the colors you have. Just be sure to follow the pattern structure. Are you ready? Very good. Red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. Did you manage using your own colors? Remember that this is called an AB pattern. It has only two elements that alternates. Red, blue, red, blue. Good. Next, I am going to start a pattern and I want you to continue. This is called extending the pattern. Are you ready? Yellow, white, blue. Yellow, white, dash. My friends, what comes next? Are you ready? Blue, yellow, white. Very good. This is called an ABC pattern because it has three elements and each appears once. Blue, yellow, white. ABC pattern. Very good. This time, I am going to ask you to find what is missing in the blank of my pattern. Are you ready? Okay. Plastic, metal, metal, dash, metal, metal. Let me repeat. Plastic, metal, metal, dash, metal, metal. What is missing? Plastic. Well done. This is called ABB pattern. It has two elements and the second one comes 2 times. Good. This time, I am going to make a pattern that has a mistake in it. You can build what I say along with me, and I want you to spot the mistake. Are you ready? Good. Stick, leaf, stone, stick, stick, leaf, stone, stick, leaf, stone. Let me repeat. Stick, leaf, stone, stick, stick, leaf, stone, stick, leaf, stone. Did you find the mistake? There should be only one stick in the sequence. Stick, leaf, stone, stick, leaf, stone. That's right. Very good. Now, I want you to create a pattern of your own using your materials. Mine is fork, fork, knife, knife, fork, fork, knife, knife. It's your turn. Good. Did you make it? Good job. I hope you have enjoyed these activities, which you can also do with young children. Don't ask young children to create A, B, B pattern, because that will be abstract for them. But do make a variety of different types of patterns so that children realize patterns don't come just in one form. Now, my dear friends, we are coming to the end of our lesson. But before we conclude, I want us to take time and review some of the key points that we learned about teaching patterns to young children. Are we together? Wonderful. Children must be able to sort and classify successfully before they will be able to master patterns. Patterns are found around us in nature, in clothing, in music, in daily routine, in a dance. Teachers and parents, they should make children be aware of this pattern so that their learning connects to life. Children should be exposed to different types of patterns from simple to complex. Remember, my friends, we teach from simple to complex, from known to unknown. And we are emphasizing that children should be exposed to different types of patterns from simple to complex, found in different places and made with different elements. This helps them generalize their understanding of patterns. Therefore, what does that now mean to us as teachers? Teachers should start pattern activities by giving children an example pattern and asking them to observe and say what comes next. Asking them to copy and continue the pattern, or filling in a blank in the middle of a pattern. Asking them to identify a mistake in a given pattern, or letting them make their own pattern, then explain it to other children. My dear friends, are we together? patterns are all around us. You remember? In the world we live in, it's full of patterns. However, I want to leave you with homework. I want to give you homework so that you can try and apply some of what we have learned today. I want you to go on a pattern hunt. You remember? We said it is one of the strategies that we use, a pattern hunt in your house. Let us even not go very far. Do a pattern hunt in your house and even in the compound. What patterns do you see? How would you describe them? Write down what you find in your pattern hunt in your notebook. My dear friends, as we continue to learn this, again, I want to emphasize and challenge all of you student teachers to make sure that always do more research on these lessons that we are doing. Remember, this is just a 30-minute lesson. We've not covered everything exhaustively. However, you have lots of materials. Take notes. When you go back to college, make sure you do further research. Those who have access to internet, make sure you research further on these topics that we are reading. Again, those who have got contacts for their tutors, do ask them any question that you have regarding these lessons that we learn. My dear friends, student teachers, tutors, and parents, thank you so much for your participation in this lesson. This lesson has been developed by Rwanda Education Board in collaboration with UNICEF, Help a Child, Right to Play, and IEE Rwanda. Please always tune in to these radio lessons and participate. Always make notes as much as you can. Until next time, goodbye.